Alrighty, so good morning, everyone. We're just going to give everyone another minute or two to hop on and we'll go ahead and dive in. Alrighty, so it's 11:02. We'll go ahead and get started. So this is going to be session 3 of our HxGN Hacks series. Today we're going to be talking about Digital Work Screen Designer, how that differs between our desktop screen designer as well as our mobile offline one. So in case you would like to go back and watch the previous 2 sessions, you're welcome to on YouTube. We do have the first 2 sessions up there. So we previously introduced digital work and how this would be different between your mobile offline compared to your desktop, as well as the different apps you have also available to you within digital work. So advanced mobile, you have your field work, and then you have your mobile requester. And then we also talked about how to set up your menu and some different little tips and tricks of your folder structure and how you can get different views out of those. So we'll go ahead and dive right in. So we're going to talk just a little bit of an overview within the PowerPoint of Screen Designer, and then I'm going to go ahead and give a demo, one for the desktop version and how to kind of do your digital work Screen Designer within the desktop, and then I will show you kind of what that looks like within digital work. Okay, so just a little quick overview. So your screen designer for digital work is going to be within your desktop EAM. This may not be available depending on your user group setup, but you can always go in and add it in, talk to your sysadmin to add it in. But this is going to differ from both your desktop EAM screen designer as well as your mobile offline screen designer. You will be able to do some of the same things like make fields required, optional, hidden, protected. One kind of interesting feature with Digital Work Screen Designer is that you can create new cards to allow custom views within screens. And I will kind of detail how to do that, what that's going to look like, and we can just go ahead and dive right into the Screen Designer. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up my EAM screen. So how you're going to be able to navigate to this, and this is at least how it is set up in our internal demo environment, is we've set it up and put it in screen configuration, and then you go ahead and go into Screen Designer for digital work. So here's the layout here we talked about in the PowerPoint. It's going to be probably more similar to your desktop EAM version, but I'll just kind of explain what these different fields are, how to configure this. So your copy from group, this is going to be the layout that you are pulling in from when you're using Screen Designer. So in this case, I'm going to be using a DTIA02 user for in the DTIA02 user group. So I am going to change this copy from to my DTIA02 user group, because that is going to be what my user will be in when I demo on the iPad. For screen, you can go ahead and go into the lookup. These are going to be your screen codes you want to enter, but if I wanted to pull up, say, my work orders, and you might already have this memorized, but if I want to pull up my work order screen, it's going to be WS jobs. And then this card here. So you can think of cards similar to how you think of tabs within your desktop EAM. These codes are going to be fairly similar to your tab codes that you have within EAM. And what I'm going to select is I'm going to make a change to our activities card within digital work. One thing to note with this is if you're looking to do the record view card for your screen within digital work, you're going to notice that there isn't a record view card to select from here. If you do want to edit your record view, what you will do is leave your card blank, and that will pull in the record view card for your screen that you're wanting to edit. So I'm going to go ahead and select my activities. And then here are the available groups that I can then save my layout to. I just want to do a one-to-one save. So I just want to pull in the layout from my DTIA02 to edit, and then I want to save it to my DTIA02 user group. So I'm going to go ahead and switch these over. All right, and then I'm going to go ahead and click Load Layout. So this is going to load the layout of my DTIA02 group like we talked about. And just to talk a little bit about the screen designer here, here is going to be your start stop labor timer. And then here are going to be your more traditional fields that you would see on your activities screen. If you just right click on these fields, you can require them, protect them, hide them. Depending on which field you click, you'll have different options. You can set default values too, you can clear them. But really what I want to talk about here is these kind of section headers. So if you right click on a section header, you can show and hide it, very similar to how you have it in your desktop version. But there's two options here. There's a new card yes and a new card no. What this does is when you open up your activities card, or what this would do is if you open up your activities card within your digital work app, you go to the activities card, you will see multiple cards within your activity card if you select yes. So since we have this first one as marked yes, this is going to be its individual card. I do not have that selected for any other section headers below. So if I clicked on my activities card, I would have one card showing with all of my field details here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take a few other sections and make new cards within them. So I'm going to make one for activity details. And then I'm going to make one for my call center details section here. So instead of having one card available, I should have 3 cards showing within my digital work app. So what I can do is hit Save Layout. And this is going to save the layout that I just made here. If I wanted to click this Reset Layout, the Reset Layout will bring it back to my previously saved version from when I loaded in my DTIA02 group. So if say I made a save change and I didn't want to make it anymore, I could do Reset Layout. It'll bring it back from when I loaded this in originally. All right, so let's take a look in our digital work app. I'm going to stop sharing and then reshare with my iPad here. And then just to make this quicker, I've set up a little inbox of my open work orders. This is what I'm going to be demoing. I'm going to go ahead and click into my work order. So just a couple notes because we'll have a little extra time. I want to just go over a couple of these shortcut icons. So as you can see here, so at the top of your screen in blue, you're going to see the work order code as well as the work order description. Right under those directly in the white, you're going to see some icons. I just want to go over these and quickly show what they mean. So if I click on that first one, that little message bubble, it's going to take me right to my comments card. This second one is going to give me options for document upload. Now, there are options here that you see depending on what you have for install parameters and set to values. And we'll go over this actually in our next session as well. We'll go through some install parameters. But just an example of one, if I wanted to upload multiple documents, which we got this question actually on our first class, or in our first session, I can select up to 5 documents queued here. I can change that value to make it higher. If I wanted to say be able to load 10 documents at a time, I could change that install parameter. That install parameter is DW pick max if I wanted to change that. So I could click into add items and select files. And depending on what I have selected in here, I could select multiple files to upload. And I'll just show pictures of my dog real quick, a quick plug for her. But I've got 2 documents queued here. If I go to upload, it'll upload these 2 documents onto my work order. So just wanted to show this example and that you can upload multiple documents as well. And then a couple other, this one here, the third one over from the left is going to be your checklist. So if I have a task plan and an active checklist associated to it, it will automatically pull it up for me. And then just one more note here I wanted to bring up. To create a follow-up work order, Normally, how you would do that on the desktop is you would go under your actions button or your actions menu within your checklist screen, and you could click create follow-up work order. If you go ahead and click those three buttons on the top right of your screen, you will have that option to create a follow-up work order from here. Depending on your install parameter setting, this could be creating deferred maintenance as well. All right, so let's dive into that screen designer real quick. I'm going to go to my activities card, and I'm going to dive into my activity. So as you notice here, if I had one card available for what I selected for my screen designer, I would have everything on this single activity details card here. It would be one card, all of my information would be on it. But what I'm showing here is three different cards. I'm showing an activities one with my activities and user defined fields. That user defined fields was a separate section, but because I had new card as selected as no, that is going to be included on the new card from what is above in the sections. And then, as you saw there, I did create a new card for my call center details section. So this is just a cool feature if you want to create multiple cards within a specific, say, your activities card. You can do that depending on how you want to lay out the view for your users. This is just another way to allow them to perform maintenance maybe more efficiently by sectioning them out more instead of having everything on one card. Right, so I will go ahead and take back over on my PowerPoint here.
Hey, Jordan, before you keep going,
Yes.
Dennis asked a question. Is there a way to make activities always show that card without going to the menu?
Uh, yes, you should be able to, depending on how you have, I believe it is your in your menu setup, but you do have the ability to, depending on which ones you want to have shown on your initial layout, and then, like you said, that menu on your top right, you do have the ability to go in and change that.
Good deal. Thank you, Jordan.
Of course. So just giving another preview for the rest of our series, we did kind of cover some of those shortcut icons here. So what we'll do for our next session is cover the install parameters. Depending on time, how much we can fit into this kind of 15-minute session, we'll have a certain set of install parameters, and I'll show those different views on what, if we change those values, what your digital work app could look like. And then the following session, we're going to talk about dynamic checklists. I know that was one of our requests from a previous session. So we'll go through that, even though that is not really digital work specific. I will show you kind of how to set that up in the desktop app and then show you what that looks like within digital work. And then leaving our last session a little open still, we might cover, say, the issue transaction screen, which is heavy into barcoding. So we could show how to use that and then maybe cover a couple other features if we have time. So with that being said, Alex, I'll pass it back over to you.
Awesome. Hey, thanks, Jordan. Appreciate you taking care of that. Guys, thanks for being with us today. Just wanted to say thank you again, joining us. Glad you're here and being involved. We're super excited for the remainder of the series. And then once digital work concludes, we'll probably move into either another series or various topics that will still be on a bi-weekly basis. So just keep an eye out in your inbox for an email for today's recording if you want to share that with anybody. And then, as always, there's a survey attached to that email. We'd love to have your feedback. What are we doing right? What are we doing wrong? And, if you have anything nice to say about us, we'd also love to hear that. So hope you enjoy your Wednesday. Hope you enjoy the rest of your week. Hope you guys stay safe out there, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for being here. Take care.
Thank you, everyone.